In war, imagine being trapped, no way out. With drones hovering above, helicopters cutting through the sky, and armored vehicles advancing over the destroyed terrain. Now, picture an entire company, surrounded, out of ammunition, without reinforcements, with only one choice: fight to the end or surrender to the enemy. This is the brutal reality you are about to witness. And what happened next? Stay until the end of this video to find out. Greetings to everyone. This individual's call sign is Abdullah. He is the commander of the Terra. Terra continues to engage in combat in the Bakhmut sector as part of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade. This footage will focus on the offensive operations of the Separate Assault Brigade. It all begins with covert movement into position, aerial reconnaissance, and deploying grenades from drones into enemy trenches.
Thor, proceed. There are targets now. Be more assertive, go on. They are firing at our forces.
This is where our side is situated. Over there is the enemy. At that moment, Russian artillery targeted the operators.
Let's move to the dugout.
He is now going to seek vengeance against them. Infantry fighting vehicles move to the line of departure for the assault. Helicopters engage enemy positions in order to suppress them. Flares are released to counteract hostile air defenses. Infantry fighting vehicles form the combat formation for the offensive. Continuous fire is directed at enemy positions, preventing the opponent from effectively using RPGs or ATGMs. One of the infantry fighting vehicles moves to the right flank, where intelligence suggests enemy anti-tank weaponry could be located. The infantry disembarks and deploys into combat formation. The enemy fires at the advancing infantry and vehicles indiscriminately. The infantry pushes forward, maintaining steady fire to neutralize enemy positions. They reach the first line of dugouts and begin clearing the area. The column advances deeper into enemy positions. The stormtroopers fire. Small arms and grenades are employed while the opposition fires in a disorganized manner, almost without aiming. Such fire is not very effective, and barely hinders the progress of the assault unit. Under pressure from the advancing force, the Russians take cover in a dugout. One Russian fighter emerges without a helmet. He attempts to open fire, but his machine gun jams immediately. The fighter retreats back into the dugout. This individual is in command. They do not seem eager to leave the dugout or actively engage the assault force outside. The commander throws the machine gun out of the trench. He sits down, appearing to be frustrated. But this action is enough to compel the infantry to come out of the dugout and enter the fight. The infantry to come out of the dugout and enter the fight. A kind of forceful encouragement is used to push them out to engage. The assault unit continues its advance, examining and securing a captured dugout. The enemy falls back. It is unclear whether this individual is confused about where to run or attempting a counter-offensive. Under constant fire from the assault group, the Russians hide again in the dugout, realizing that resistance is futile and won't alter the outcome of the engagement. This enemy infantryman is fortunate. The stormtrooper's shot struck his helmet, so he discards it and escapes. The next group trying to escape is less fortunate, since the route is already under the stormtroopers' fire control as they retreat. They try to run away one at a time in vain. One infantryman becomes disoriented and runs in the wrong direction, which turns out to be fatal for him. The stormtroopers finish clearing the trench and handling the captives, then move on to the next trench. Those who chose to surrender were taken captive. They remove their body armor and discard. The stormtroopers have moved close enough to use grenades on the dugouts and trenches. One Russian soldier attempts to flee, but luck is not on his side. Surrender would likely have been wiser. The stormtroopers continue forward and reach the boundary of the enemy's fortifications, what remains of at least one Russian company. It appears their homeland does not particularly value their well-being. Don't want to miss the next videos? Then hit like now and tell me in the comments, what's your analysis of this war scenario?